History has a way of burying its most uncomfortable truths beneath the shifting dunes of time. We are taught to look west, across the Atlantic, to the scars of the Middle Passage. But if you turn your gaze east, toward the rising sun and the vast silent stretches of the Sahara, you will find a ghost story that lasted 13 centuries. It is a story not just of chains, but of a specific, calculated cruelty directed at the womb and the spirit. For the millions of African women swept up in the Trans-Saharan and Indian Ocean slave trades, the destination wasn't a plantation, it was a gilded cage, a silent room, or a life of reproductive terror. This wasn't just a loss of freedom. It was the systematic erasure of their personhood, a fate many whispered was far, far worse than the cold embrace of death. Tonight, we step into the shadows of the Oriental slave trade to uncover the harrowing reality of those whose voices were silenced by the desert winds. The Arab slave trade operated on a fundamental inversion of the transatlantic model, prioritizing the capture of women over men with a predatory precision that redefined human trafficking. While the Western trade sought muscular labor for the grueling toil of sugarcane and cotton fields, the Eastern markets thrived on the commodification of female presence and domestic servitude. This gender disparity was not accidental, but a calculated choice rooted in the socio-economic desires of the elite in Baghdad, Cairo, and Istanbul. For every man dragged into the salt mines or onto the dhows, 2 or 3 women were shackled for a far more intimate and devastating form of bondage. They were the primary currency of the Saharan caravans, selected for their youth and perceived vitality to fill the ever-growing demand for domestic labor and social status. This overwhelming focus on women meant that the demographic heart of African villages was systematically ripped out, leaving behind broken lineages and empty homes. The journey itself acted as a brutal filter, designed to deliver only those women who could withstand the psychological and physical transition from free human to luxury item. Traders understood that a young woman represented a multi-purpose investment. She was a servant, a potential mother of new laborers, and a source of private entertainment. This necessitated a specific type of violence during the raids, where older women and children were often discarded in favor of those entering their prime reproductive years. The product had to be aesthetically pleasing and physically resilient enough to survive a 3-month march across a landscape that offered nothing but heat and death. In the eyes of the merchant, these women were not humans with histories, but high-value assets whose femininity was a marketable trait to be exploited for maximum profit. This gendered selection process transformed the slave trade into a targeted assault on the African female body, treating it as a resource to be harvested. Once they reached the sprawling markets of the Red Sea or the Mediterranean coast, these women faced a grading system that further stripped them of their humanity. They were categorized by their skin tone, their features, and their temperament, with prices fluctuating based on how well they fit the aesthetic fantasies of their captors. Unlike the anonymous labor of the plantation, the domestic slavery of the Arab world required a terrifying proximity to the master, where a woman's entire existence was dictated by his moods. She was expected to be invisible when not needed, yet perfectly compliant when summoned, living in a state of perpetual hypervigilance. This constant surveillance was a psychological cage that prevented any sense of safety, as her value was tied directly to her ability to serve the personal whims of a household. The disparity in numbers ensured that the experience of the African woman was the defining characteristic of this trade, making her the face of a 300-year-old tragedy. The sheer volume of female captives led to a unique societal structure where the presence of enslaved African women became a normalized backdrop of urban life in the Middle East. They were forced into roles ranging from heavy kitchen labor to the highly specialized and isolated world of the harem, where their identity was completely overwritten. In these spaces, they were often stripped of their names and given flowery or elegant monikers that served as a constant reminder of their status as ornaments. This saturation of the market with female captives meant that the trade was self-perpetuating, as the demand for new and exotic women never waned among the ruling classes. While male slaves might eventually find a niche in the military or administration, the woman's path was almost always circular, trapped within the domestic sphere with no hope of upward mobility. Her gender was her sentence, a biological reality that the trade used to ensure she remained the most sought-after and most abused commodity in the region. Ultimately, the focus on women created a historical void that makes the Arab slave trade significantly more difficult to track than its Western counterpart. Because these women were integrated into households and their children were often absorbed into the master's lineage, their distinct African heritage was systematically diluted and erased over centuries. This was not a kindness, but a final act of theft, the stealing of their legacy and the right to be remembered as a distinct people. They disappeared into the genealogies of their oppressors, their suffering silenced by the very walls that imprisoned them for a lifetime. The lopsided gender ratio was the engine of this erasure, ensuring that the African woman's story would be told through the lens of those who owned her rather than her own. To look at the history of this trade is to see a sea of female faces, a massive demographic shift that traded the future of African families for the private comfort of a foreign elite. The concept of human-centric design serves as the cornerstone for modern innovation across all global industries. By prioritizing the lived experiences of individuals, creators can develop products and services that truly resonate on an emotional level. This approach transcends simple aesthetics or basic functionality to address the profound psychological needs of the end user. When we place the human element at the center of the development cycle, we mitigate the risk of creating technology that feels cold or alienating. Ultimately, successful design is measured not by its complexity, but by how seamlessly it integrates into the daily rhythms of life. Innovation thrives when multidisciplinary teams collaborate to solve complex problems through diverse and inclusive perspectives. Bringing together experts from various fields ensures that a single challenge is viewed through multiple lenses, revealing hidden opportunities for growth. This synergy allows for the cross-pollination of ideas, which often leads to the most groundbreaking and unexpected creative breakthroughs. In a rapidly evolving marketplace, the ability to adapt and integrate different viewpoints is what separates industry leaders from those who merely follow. True progress is born from the friction of differing opinions resolved through a shared commitment to excellence. Sustainability is no longer an optional feature of corporate strategy, but a fundamental requirement for long-term survival. Companies must recognize that environmental stewardship and economic profitability are deeply interconnected in the modern era of global commerce. By implementing green technologies and reducing carbon footprints, organizations can build a resilient foundation for future generations to enjoy. Ethical sourcing and transparent supply chains also foster a deeper sense of trust between a brand and its growing customer base. Investing in the planet is an investment in the stability and health of the very markets that sustain business growth. The digital transformation of the workspace has redefined the way we perceive productivity and professional connection in the century. Remote and hybrid models have proven that physical proximity is not always a prerequisite for high-level performance or creative output. However, this shift necessitates a renewed focus on digital empathy and the intentional cultivation of a strong virtual culture. Tools that facilitate seamless communication are essential, but they must be balanced with boundaries that protect personal well-being. Leaders who master this balance will attract top talent and maintain high morale regardless of geographical distances or time zones. Looking toward the future, the integration of artificial intelligence will further augment human capability rather than simply replacing it. We are entering an era where data-driven insights empower us to make more informed decisions with unprecedented speed and accuracy. This partnership between human intuition and machine efficiency promises to unlock solutions to some of our most persistent global challenges. As we navigate this transition, maintaining a strong ethical framework will be vital to ensure technology serves the greater good. The potential for progress is limitless as long as we remain focused on our core values and shared humanity. The pursuit of innovation begins with a fundamental shift in how we perceive existing boundaries and conventional limitations within our industry. By challenging the status quo, we create the necessary space for creative problem-solving and the development of transformative technologies. This initial phase of growth requires a disciplined approach to research and a willingness to embrace calculated risks for future gains. True progress is never accidental. It is the result of intentional design and a commitment to excellence across every level. As we look toward the next decade, our focus remains on building resilient systems that can adapt to rapid change. We must prioritize agility and foresight to ensure that our strategic objectives are met with precision and purpose. Collaboration serves as the cornerstone of our collective success, bridging the gap between individual talent and institutional achievement. When we align our diverse perspectives toward a singular vision, we unlock a level of synergy that transcends traditional expectations. Effective communication is the vehicle that carries this vision forward, ensuring that every stakeholder is informed and empowered. We believe that a culture of transparency fosters trust, which in turn accelerates the pace of our development cycles. By investing in our people and providing them with the tools they need, we cultivate an environment where ideas flourish. This collaborative spirit is what distinguishes our organization from the competition and drives our sustained market relevance. Sustainability is no longer a peripheral concern, but a core component of our long-term viability and ethical responsibility. We are integrating eco-friendly practices into our supply chain to minimize our environmental footprint while maximizing operational efficiency. This commitment to the planet reflects our understanding that economic success must be balanced with social and ecological stewardship. Our engineers are constantly exploring new materials and energy-efficient processes to refine our product life cycles and reduce waste. By setting ambitious goals for carbon neutrality, we lead by example and inspire others within our sector to act. The future of global commerce depends on our ability to harmonize industrial output with the natural world's limits. Digital transformation is the catalyst that enables us to scale our impact and deliver exceptional value to a global audience. Through the integration of advanced analytics and automated workflows, we are streamlining our operations to be more responsive. Data is our most valuable asset, providing the insights needed to anticipate customer needs before they even arise in market. We are leveraging artificial intelligence to enhance our decision-making capabilities and provide personalized experiences at a massive scale. Security remains a top priority as we navigate this digital landscape, ensuring that user data is protected with rigor. As we evolve, our technical infrastructure will continue to support the increasingly complex demands of a connected world. Looking ahead, the roadmap for Keynote 3 outlines a bold trajectory characterized by continuous improvement and bold experimentation. We are not content with past achievements. We are driven by the potential of what is yet to be discovered. Our strategic roadmap emphasizes the importance of staying curious and remaining open to the shifts in consumer behavior. Every challenge we encounter is viewed as an opportunity to refine our methods and strengthen our organizational resolve. The journey toward the next frontier is ongoing, and we invite our partners to join us in this endeavor. Together, we will redefine the standards of excellence and leave a lasting legacy for the generations that follow. The integration of advanced logistics and streamlined distribution networks represents the next major evolution in our operational framework for the coming fiscal year. By optimizing our global supply chain, we can significantly reduce lead times while maintaining the highest standards of quality control and product integrity. This strategic expansion is built upon a foundation of data-driven decision-making, allowing us to predict market fluctuations with unprecedented accuracy and speed. We are investing heavily in localized fulfillment centers to ensure that our physical presence matches the digital demand of our expanding customer base. This approach not only lowers shipping costs, but also strengthens our connection to regional markets by providing faster and more reliable service. Our commitment to logistical excellence ensures that we remain competitive in an increasingly crowded and fast-paced global marketplace. Human-centric design serves as the primary philosophy guiding our product development teams as they craft the next generation of user experiences. We believe that technology should empower the individual, removing friction from daily tasks and creating intuitive pathways for meaningful engagement. By conducting extensive ethnographic research, we have identified key pain points that our latest software updates and hardware iterations aim to resolve. Every interface element and physical component is scrutinized to ensure it contributes to a seamless and satisfying journey for the end user. This focus on empathy and accessibility allows us to build products that resonate deeply with people from all walks of life. As we move forward, we will continue to prioritize the human element, ensuring our innovations serve the real-world needs of our community. The financial health and fiscal responsibility of our organization provide the bedrock upon which all our ambitious research and development projects are built. We have implemented a rigorous capital allocation strategy that prioritizes high-impact initiatives while maintaining a healthy balance sheet for future opportunities. By diversifying our revenue streams and exploring new subscription models, we are creating a more resilient and predictable economic future for our stakeholders. Our recent acquisitions have been carefully selected to complement our existing portfolio, adding specialized expertise and proprietary technology to our ecosystem. Transparency in our reporting and a conservative approach to debt ensure that we are well positioned to weather any potential economic volatility. This disciplined financial management empowers us to invest boldly in the transformative ideas that will define our industry's next decade. Corporate social responsibility is woven into the very fabric of our mission, reflecting our belief that business should be a force for positive change. We are launching several new initiatives aimed at increasing diversity and inclusion within our workforce, recognizing that different perspectives drive better innovation. Our educational outreach programs are designed to inspire the next generation of engineers and creators by providing resources to underserved communities. We are also doubling down on our commitment to ethical sourcing, ensuring that every partner in our supply chain adheres to strict labor standards. By fostering a culture of integrity and accountability, we earn the trust of our customers and the respect of our global peers. We understand that our success is measured not just by our profits, but by the positive impact we leave on society. As we conclude this vision for Keynote 4, we must look toward the horizon with a sense of urgency and a spirit of relentless curiosity. The road ahead is paved with challenges that will test our resolve, but our past achievements prove that we are capable of overcoming any obstacle. We must remain steadfast in our pursuit of perfection, never settling for the status quo when there is still room for improvement. Our collective passion and expertise are the engines that will propel us into this new era of discovery and technological leadership. We invite you to join us on this journey, contributing your unique talents to the shared goal of creating a brighter and more connected future. Together, we will continue to push the boundaries of what is possible and set new benchmarks for excellence in everything we do. The launch of Keynote 5 marks a definitive turning point in our strategic trajectory, where the convergence of artificial intelligence and edge computing becomes a tangible reality for our global user base. We are shifting our focus from centralized data processing toward a distributed architecture that brings high-performance intelligence directly to the point of interaction, reducing latency to near-zero levels. This architectural shift is not merely a technical upgrade, but a reimagining of how hardware and software can collaborate to create more responsive and proactive environments for our clients. By embedding sophisticated machine learning models into our core devices, we allow for real-time adjustments and autonomous optimizations that were previously impossible under traditional cloud-based constraints. Our engineering teams have worked tirelessly to ensure that this new framework maintains the highest standards of energy efficiency while delivering a massive leap in computational power. As we deploy this infrastructure, we are setting a new industry benchmark for what is possible when speed, intelligence, and reliability are integrated into a single cohesive ecosystem. Central to the success of Keynote 5 is our renewed focus on the developer experience, recognizing that a platform is only as strong as the community that builds upon its foundations. We are releasing a comprehensive suite of open-source tools and standardized APIs designed to lower the barrier to entry for creators and innovators across various technical disciplines. By providing more transparent documentation and robust debugging environments, we empower developers to bring their most ambitious ideas to market with significantly reduced development cycles. Our commitment to an open ecosystem fosters a culture of collaborative innovation where diverse solutions can thrive and interoperate seamlessly across different hardware configurations. We have also established a dedicated support fund to assist small-scale startups in migrating their existing workflows to our new, more efficient high-performance computing environment. This investment in the creative community ensures that our platform remains the premier destination for the next generation of digital services and transformative applications. Privacy and data sovereignty have been elevated to the forefront of our design philosophy, ensuring that every innovation introduced today respects the fundamental rights of the individual user. In an era of increasing digital vulnerability, we have implemented a multi-layered security protocol that encrypts data at the hardware level, providing a secure vault for sensitive information. Our new Privacy by Design framework ensures that personal data is never transmitted or stored without explicit consent and full transparency regarding its intended use within the system. We believe that trust is the most important currency in the digital age, and we are committed to earning that trust through rigorous third-party audits and public accountability. These security enhancements are integrated directly into the user interface, making it easier than ever for individuals to manage their digital footprint and control their privacy settings. By prioritizing the safety of our users, we are building a sustainable model for digital growth that does not come at the expense of personal liberty or security. The expansion into emerging markets represents a significant pillar of our global growth strategy, as we aim to bring the benefits of Keynote 5 to the next billion users worldwide. We have tailored our hardware specifications to meet the unique challenges of regions with varying infrastructure, ensuring that high-speed connectivity is accessible regardless of local geographical constraints. Our localized software ecosystems are designed to reflect the cultural and linguistic diversity of these markets, providing a more relevant and inclusive experience for every single user. Through strategic partnerships with local telecommunications providers and educational institutions, we are building the digital literacy and physical infrastructure necessary for long-term regional success. This global outreach is driven by the conviction that technology should be a democratizing force, providing equal opportunities for education, commerce, and creative expression. By closing the digital divide, we are not only expanding our market share but also contributing to the collective advancement of the global economy and its many diverse communities. Looking toward the final phase of our current roadmap, we are dedicated to a process of continuous iteration and feedback-driven refinement to ensure our long-term goals remain aligned with reality. The insights gathered from our initial pilot programs will be used to fine-tune our algorithms and optimize the user experience for maximum efficiency and aesthetic harmony. We remain vigilant in our pursuit of perfection, understanding that the landscape of technology is constantly shifting and requires a mindset of perpetual learning and adaptation. Our leadership team is committed to maintaining a transparent dialogue with our stakeholders, providing regular updates on our progress and the challenges we encounter along the way. This journey is a marathon, not a sprint, and we are prepared to invest the time and resources necessary to see our vision through to its full completion. As we step into this future together, we do so with a sense of optimism and a firm belief that our best and most impactful work is still to come. Keynote 6 represents a pivotal advancement in presentation technology, focusing on the seamless integration of cinematic transitions and high-fidelity animations. By prioritizing the user experience, it allows creators to build visual narratives that feel fluid rather than fragmented. The software's engine is designed to handle complex layering and transparency, ensuring that every slide transition remains crisp and professional. This emphasis on visual storytelling transforms standard data into an engaging journey for the audience. Consequently, presenters can maintain a higher level of engagement throughout their entire pitch or lecture. The introduction of Magic Move remains one of the most significant features within this specific version of the software. This tool enables users to take a single object and move, resize, or rotate it across subsequent slides with ease. By automating the interpolation between two states, Keynote 6 eliminates the need for tedious frame-by-frame animation work. This efficiency allows professionals to focus more on their core message rather than technical troubleshooting. It bridges the gap between basic slideshows and high-end motion graphics typically reserved for video editors. Furthermore, the updated user interface reflects a shift toward a cleaner, more minimalist design aesthetic for the workspace. The format pane is context-sensitive, meaning it only displays the tools relevant to the object currently selected on the canvas. This reduction in visual clutter helps the user maintain focus and speeds up the overall design process significantly. By hiding unnecessary menus, the software encourages a more intuitive and creative approach to building visual assets. Many users find that this streamlined environment fosters better productivity during tight deadlines and projects. Collaboration and cross-platform compatibility also saw substantial improvements during this development cycle for the productivity suite. Users can transition between their desktop environment and mobile devices without losing formatting or animation data. This flexibility is essential for the modern professional who may need to make last-minute edits while traveling. The synchronization through cloud services ensures that the most recent version is always accessible to the entire team. Such connectivity fosters a collaborative spirit, allowing multiple contributors to refine a single presentation simultaneously. Finally, the expansion of export options allows for greater versatility in how the final presentation is shared with others. Beyond the native file format, users can export their work as high-definition videos or interactive web documents. This ensures that the cinematic quality of the presentation is preserved even when the viewer lacks the software. It also facilitates easier sharing on social media platforms or professional portfolios where video content is preferred. Ultimately, Keynote 6 empowers users to deliver their ideas with a level of polish that defines modern communication.